sister, thou shalt not fall. Come to your brother, thou shalt not die. Unchain me, sister, thou shalt not fear. Love is with your brother, thou shalt not kill. What's going on, horror gang? Welcome to I Shot Him 6 Times YouTube horror movie channel. As you know, I'm your host Marcus. Please be sure to shoot that like button and subscribe to the channel, so also hit that notification icon to get all this content updates to the channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about the supposed Thelostboys remake that is in the works, starring Noah Jupe and Jaedenmartell as the lead roles. Before I get into it, let's hit that intro. I shot him 6 times. All right, gang. So let's get into it. So a couple days ago, I was, on my Google News feed, and I ran across this article that came out in September of 2021. Now, keep in mind, everyone, I did not start this channel until after the new year. I didn't really start posting content until, we're going to say, end of February, early March. So with that being said, I'm obviously a little bit behind on some articles that came out, maybe some news about some movies that came out, what have you. And this article was centered around a Thelostboys remake that is going to be directed by British director Jonathan Entwistle, and he is the creator of the shows The End of the Effing World, and I'm Not Okay With This, as well as it's going to be written by Randy McKinnon, who works on the shows Grand Army and Chambers, and is also writing an adaptation of the DC Comics Static Shock. It's also been noted that Noah Jupe and Jaedenmartell are pegged to be the lead roles in this movie. Now, if you go on just first look, it is safe to assume that Noah Jupe will be playing the role that was assumed by Jason Patric, and Jaedenmartell will be assuming the role that was played by Kiefer Sutherland as the lead vampire role in this new movie, possibly. Now, we obviously don't know that. They could do a complete reversal to where we think, the guy who looks like Jason Patric, who was the original victim in the original movie, could actually be the leader now of the vampires, and that Jaedenmartell's character, who looks like Kiefer Sutherland, actually could be playing the victim in this movie. We don't have any other casting news. It's obviously still in development. I've tried my best to see if there was any other information about this movie. Since that article, I have not been able to find anything. So it's obvious they're still in development, probably still putting the cast together, still, doing auditions, what have you. But let's just go with what we have for right now. In terms of the characters of Noah Jupe and Jaedenmartell, well, the actors, I should say. Obviously, these are really talented young actors, really well known, especially in the Hollywood circles right now. Both of them, are they're really good. I will give them that. However, I'm a little bit worried, you guys, about this movie with these two being the lead roles, and I'm going to explain why. Is that Jaedenmartell is 19 and Noah Jupe is 17. In the original, Jason Patric was 21 and Kiefer Sutherland was 22, respectively, if I'm not mistaken. Now, and I did look that up recently, and I'm pretty sure, or it could be the other way around, Jason was 22 and Kiefer was 21. With that being said, I feel like, okay, let's just go with the premise that Noah is playing the role of Jason Patrick and Jaden is playing the role of Kiefer Sutherland as the lead vampire, whatever, and stuff. I feel like what really made the original work so well is that you had Jason Patric and Kiefer Sutherland kind of like in their early 20s. They were obviously young, but they were still basically fully grown men. And you also had that mixture of younger characters that are in their teens, 17, 16 to 19 years old, possibly, in characters, as Jason, as Corey Haim's character, Sam in that original movie, Edgar Fogg and his brother, the two frogs, etc. Like, you had a mixture of, early 20s, and then you had the teens mixed in well. Now, I'm not sitting there saying that we still can't get that in this new movie, but I'm just talking about in terms of the main characters themselves. Like, I just feel like in the original, like, especially when, obviously Kiefer's trying to turn Jason Patrick into, want to, turn him into a vampire and have him join the cult, etc. Like, that was believable. They both had intimidating presence to them. You know, even outside of their, vampire form. You can't tell me that when you was looking at Kiefer Sutherland on that bike, the way he was looking at Jason Patrick in some of those scenes, that he didn't look creepy. You could tell he was menacing. You could tell there was something up with him. When I look at Noah Jupe and I look at Jaeden Martell, and I'm just, no offense to these guys, I just don't, I don't see nothing menacing about them to where I would believe them to be, menacing vampires. Like, I would not fear them. Now, obviously, special effects and makeup will come into play, and who's to say they won't make them look like really menacing vampires? That's all fine and dandy, but I'm actually going with more of the mystique of them being outside their vampire form. We expect them to look scary, quote unquote, or at least menacing in their vampire form. What about in their human forms? What about that? Like, I felt like in the original, that's what captured the mystique so well, is because outside of their vampire form, you can buy those guys to be somewhat intimidating characters. You can. Like, and I don't know, guys. It's our first look, and it's nothing against the actors. Again, I just look at them, and I guess I'm just looking at it from maybe a little bit more of a realistic standpoint. I mean, I just can't buy them as menacing presences. I just can't. I just don't know what it is. Maybe it's just because they're still in they haven't hit their physical peak yet. I don't know. Obviously time can change, throughout the course, of filming, etc. We do know that certain actors are asked, put on weight or do this or do certain things to make themselves look older, what have you, makeup, all that. I'm not, I'm not throwing that out the window. I understand that we live in a world where makeup and technology, is really, really, advanced. I understand that. But I'm just more going on with the premise that when they're outside of their vampire form, how menacing are they going to look? Like, I want these characters to look like they can be vampires. Like, I'm sorry, in the original, even before Jason Patrick turned, you could believe him to be as a vampire. You could. I'm not getting that same vibe off either Noah Jupe or Jaeden Martell. I'm just not. And that's just off first look, you guys. Maybe, with over time, with the storyline, it could be a hook, and it could just be an overall good movie. I'm going to go see it. I'm going to give it a chance because I'm a fan of the original, and I want to see what these guys have in mind. I don't know. I'm a little bit worried that it's going to be a little bit teeny, and I kind of, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I think this is going to be a PG-13 movie. And I really hope that's not the case. Hey, this is just speculation. This isn't fact. Just throwing that out there. This is just my opinion, and this is my speculation. But just given the age of these actors and the roles, assuming they're going to be playing let's just say they're remaking the original story. You know what I mean? And they're going off the premise of the original 1987 movie. I don't know, guys. I'm not feeling it too much. Great actors, great young actors. But in my opinion, it's one of those things to where these could be great young actors playing roles that just might not suit or fit them. Hey, time will tell when we get the movie. They can easily knock it out the park because they have that in them, for sure. But just off first look, in my opinion, I just kind of wish they would have casted maybe guys that are in their early 20s. But hey, change is good. They obviously are trying to go in their own direction. And hey, as a fan of horror and as a fan of, want to see something different and getting creative and telling your own story, I can respect that. So again, I am going to give it a chance when and if this movie does get made. Keep in mind, things do fall through. Things, sometimes don't come to fruition. So this movie might not happen. But it's looking like it is a go. It's looking like they're putting all their efforts into making this movie happen. And when the movie does come out, I am going to go check it out because I want to see what they have to offer. All right, gang, that's it for this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section about a Lost Boys remake happening. Are you excited for it, or are you concerned about it? And do you think that Noah Jupe and Jaeden Martell are good fits for this movie and for these roles? I want to hear from you guys and want to get you guys' take and opinions on the matter. But once again, this is I Shot Him 6 Times YouTube horror movie channel. I'm your host Marcus. Please be sure to shoot that like button, subscribe to the channel, so hit that notification icon to get all these content updates to the channel, as well as be sure to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Reddit. Thank you for watching.